Hello everyone and welcome back to a brand new video, and today we are here for round number 1 of the new WOR season here in Belgium. I took a break from uploading for a little bit because, well, if you didn't know why, I twisted my testicles. But anyway, yeah, going into Belgium, honestly the practice was extremely low because if you didn't know, I also do PSGL, another very popular league full of many talented drivers. Um, so a lot of effort went into that, and then come Sunday night when WR races, yeah, I don't really feel like racing that much. But anyway, we're here and heading out for what I would hope to be my only run in Q1, because as you know, obviously for qualifying you want to get through Q1 on one set of tyres, Q2 on one set of tyres, so then you have two fresh sets for Q3. But as you'll see through my lack of practice, we are not very skilled at this track. Another excuse I'm going to throw into the mix is that I didn't practice this track for esports because Danny Bresnay and Barry Burman did it, so I had no need to practice. I kind of just focused elsewhere. But yeah, coming into the com now, all seems fairly good there. A little bit of understeer into this next corner. It doesn't look that bad, to be honest, but I'm just not carrying a great amount of speed through a lot of these corners, not much confidence, and yeah, no matter how good it looks as we go extremely wide there of the apex into Pouon, that's going to cost us a little bit of time, and then coming into this chicane, weird corner, fifth gear, all over that curb. Once again, looks fairly tidy, but if it's not fast, then it's not fast, nothing you can do about that. And the middle sector split, what even is that? I can't even see. It's like a 0.3 or something. But yeah, basically not good. And coming into the bus stop, making sure to take a good bit of curb on that first part. Not too bad. The last part we've just understeered, and yeah, you can tell just not the best of laps. And we've done a 41.7, which may not be a bad lap in most people's eyes, but at this level, and by the laughter, you can tell definitely we should have been going a little bit quicker than that. But no need to worry because we have another set of fresh softs that we're going to waste. And yeah, we do end up improving, but if you look at the cut-off time, we actually didn't need to, because I don't know, everyone must have been awful or something. But yeah, well, we wasted a set of softs. But yeah, anyway, into Q2 now, and we do manage to get through with a fairly okay lap. But we actually didn't need to use that because our lap on our old set of softs would have actually got us through to Q3. I don't know what was going on in this session. The lap times weren't the most impressive thing I've ever seen. But yeah, we essentially could have got through on the scrub set from Q1, but we just wasted another set. But whatever, it's all good. We move on into Q3. So, absolutely godlike lap of Q3, break in just before the 100 meter board. Take a little bit more curb than I did there. That's pretty terrible from me, but nevertheless we do gain some time, and I have nothing to say here, so I'm just going to skip to the next corner. No real breaking point for this one, just going off feel, and we avoid the curb because we're scared of spinning out. Take a little bit of that curb, and then through this next one, not even that bad, I think. Now into this next downhill right-hander, we've just gone so far wide of that apex, but it's fine. Got a decent traction coming through here, taking that curb, not invalidating. Nothing perfect, but nice and tidy so far. Into Pouon. Are we going to get near the apex? We actually do this time. I'm actually clear on this lap. And now coming into the worst part of the track. Going over this curb in fifth gear. Into left-hander. Nice and tidy. Still not the quickest. Into this right-hander, taking the curb, not invalidating on the exit. And we're green, but we're not anything special, to be honest. We're just on the most average lap you've ever seen. You've seen their fastest lap, Bresnay. I think that was a 0.0. I can't really see. Or Ulas. No, he definitely did a 0.0. But into the bus stop now. Break in just after 100 again. Take a nice bit of curb there, and for some reason we've just absolutely ate that second part of the curb and lost a whole load of time. But we've secured 5th place somehow on the grid for the race. So lining up on the grid then, as you can see, Shanika starting on medium, so he's beat us. And I believe also Ulas on pole and Stachulek also are on medium tyres. and they're ahead of us on the grid. So yeah, we may as well admit defeat to them now. But anyway, yeah, as we wait for the final cars to start, here we go for the round 1 of the WOR Championship. Are we going to finally win for once in our lives? And it's not started well. We've got a terrible start. That's Luke Smith absolutely out-tractioning us around the outside. We have a nice path, nice and clean down the inside, not making contact with any cars. Get the power down, and yeah, we've lost the position. But it's fine, because we're just going to deploy our entire battery 100 to 0 on this straight and see what happens. As as you can see there, Luke Smith pulling ahead a little bit, so then we activate the DRS. The DRS? No, not the DRS. The ERS. Same thing. And we maintain position. Bit of a cluster ahead of us. I fancy some positions. Luke Smith flies down the inside of Danny Bresnay. Danny goes off the track. We've just half spun. Now going into this next right-hander. Still a cluster ahead of us. And that's one of the Haas's. He's been turned in on. Danny Bresnay has to slow down. We try and get a move on him. We're going to go round the outside of No Name. Yeah, that's not a smart idea. We've almost understeered into the wall, but it's fine. And now here comes Simon, whose ERS was stuck open. I'm not even sure why he's here, to be honest, but Simon's ahead of us. And we're just dropping like a fly right now. But it doesn't matter because, as you'll see, keeping your ERS on through corners is not ideal. You can hear Simon in the background complaining. Not enjoying his time there, and we're going to get a simple move as he has already run out of ERS on this lap. So yep, another unfortunate bug from Cody's there. But unfortunately, with all that happening, Danny Bresnay starting to put a little bit of a gap, and also Jeffrey Ritchie's decided to beg the ERS. Now he goes to the outside. He's broken 50 meters too late, and we get a position back. Pretty sure we turned in on there a little bit. But it's fine. We move on with it. But now, as you can see, Danny Bresnay is 9/10. Oh, as Simon is absolutely fuming. Yeah, Danny Bresnay is 9/10 behind, and he was also a little bit further behind than he wanted to be to the car ahead, meaning he's going to use his battery. So yeah, when I use my battery, it's not doing much. As you can see, it's staying at 8/9, which is not ideal, as you know, for any race. You want to be within the, as I say there, amazing game with no obvious flaws. That's such a true statement. But yeah, one thing to note, and as you'll probably see as I go on, the lack of practice made for a driving that was not optimal, and also the setup was somehow bad in quali and the race. I thought he was understeery from quali, and then I got into the race, and yeah, it just felt almost undrivable at some points. Unfortunately, due to this, combined with the lack of skill, as you can see, they're twitching through the corner. Just no confidence, to be honest. We lose the second gap to Danny Bresnay, and if you're wondering if I ever get back in, the answer is no. No, I do not. I actually get gapped pretty hard, to be honest, because they all had DRS. But something very interesting has happened. As you can see, it started to rain. Now on the pre-race weather thingy, the rain was only supposed to be 1 square long in total, which is not that long. So it's going to be a decision for the drivers whether it's not to actually go onto the inters or not. Because it can rain pretty hard, but you know, with how this game is, it might even be quicker to stay out on a wet track on dry tyres and wait for the weather to dry up again, and just go on to another set of dry tyres, which is interesting. But yeah, you know, we don't question it. So moving on now to the end of lap 7. As you can see, it's pretty wet now, and any logical person, as I completely missed the apex with 0 grip, any logical person would see this very damp track, also half spinning again, and they would opt for intermediate tyres. But because I was in no man's land, and it was going to dry up soon enough, we've gone to a set of medium tyres. So going for a big gamble there, and as you can see, coming out of the pits, the grip is very interesting. Pretty much absolutely 0 grip. But pay close attention to the gap to Jack West behind us, who is on intermediate tyres, going up through Eau Rouge, and Radion. Not awful, to be honest. But obviously, the track is wet, and there's people behind me on Inters. So the only logical explanation is that they overtake us in a matter of a few corners. But that doesn't end up happening because, well, it's starting to dry up a little bit, and well, Codemasters. But yeah, once I seen the gap, as John said, there we gained. Yeah, so right now the mediums are faster, so we've got the gamble absolutely right, and we can take these mediums to the end, while all the guys ahead of us, or not everyone, but most of the people ahead of us, pit for a set of intermediate tyres. So yeah, we have gambled on the weird strategy, and it's worked. So yeah, moving on all the way to lap 15. As you can see now, the people who have benefited from doing this strategy is Danny Bresnay in the lead of the race, and Jake Benham also right behind him. Unfortunately, we're a bit behind them because we just fell off at the start. But Sam Corby in P3 is still yet to pit, meaning that we're on for what I would say is a fairly comfortable podium. But Shanika Clay, absolute godlike pace on them soft tyres as well, fresh softs. So we have to be a little bit careful if we drive like a complete idiot and he drives well. There is a chance we could catch up in time. So we are pushing just a little bit. But yeah, pushing on this setup was not.
Shanika's gone.
As I say there.
Well,
Shanika has spun, so.
Now I literally just have to sit here.
Yeah, at this point we're literally in no man's land and we just have to bring the car home. Well, no one around us. But this race is not done. So now we have a safety car that's going to back the whole grid up, meaning that we still have some sort of chance of winning this race. As we come into the pits and come back out, you'll see Sam Corby has jumped absolutely everyone who pit a lap before. So now he's up into P2, and also Jake Benham gets disqualified because he overtook the safety car. Now I don't have that clip, but I recommend you go and watch it because that was a very interesting clip from Jake. Meaning that now it's Danny Bresnay, Sam Corby, and then myself, all in for a chance of the win.
What did he do?
Because the safety car stopped. You leave now, Simon.
Up to temperature, and remember, there is no overtaking until the timing line. Stay in position.
What I just heard.
What? Yeah, GG's. That'll get removed.
Yeah, obviously.
So after almost ending my race under the safety car, we're about to get going again. 4 lap sprint, everyone on fresh softs to the end. And now we're patiently waiting for Danny Bresnay to just actually accelerate, trying not to get caught out, while also trying to keep the tyres warm. And there we go, Danny Bresnay bolts off. We get caught out a little bit, but you know, the gap is nothing crazy. Using some ERS and into the bus stop, chicane.
What is he doing?
Yeah, so I think Danny Bresnay went wide because he didn't want to be leading, because you know the DRS on that straight is pretty insane. But that's forced everyone a little bit to bunch up again, and we almost got overtaken by Ruben. But yeah, we tried to get the move done on Sam. We used a lot of ERS, but honestly, he was just driving very well. We try and deploy all our battery just to get the move done, but Sam also has quite a lot of battery saved up, obviously, from under the safety car, and yeah, there's nothing we can do. We're not going to dive in there because we will end up in a barrier. So, yeah, unfortunately,
What the fuck is he doing?
being third in the train is just not where you want to be, because as you can see, Danny Bresnay has enough of a gap to Sam. Sam closes in, I close in on Sam, but nothing happens, which is quite unfortunate, as we get a warning there. Definitely don't want to get a penalty, that would ruin things. But yeah, it stays like this until the end. We secure the podium after the penalty removal,
Even with a 5-second penalty.
of course. But yeah, honestly a fun race, to be honest. From being out of DRS in 6th place to back on the podium. That strategy definitely saved us. But yeah, next round, Imola, coming very soon. So yeah, thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next one.
After being in P6